everybody, and welcome back to the Indiana Tech Esports channel. My name is Bob, and tonight we're actually doing a rare doubleheader broadcast. It is the NEL leading into NECC, but we got a good one tonight to at least start the night. It is your Indiana Tech Warriors taking on Akron Gold. It is two top 30 teams in the nation squaring off. Indiana Tech was, well, pretty close to making the CRL closed qualifier. Akron had placed very highly in the open brackets, I believe they called it. They didn't really make it clear on what the actual terminology was, because it was the open qualifier and then the opens. I don't know. CRL fall. We'll roll with that. The Warriors were 7-0 in the regular season in NEL. This is the winner's circle, top four specifically, what we're playing in here, which is another round robin between the top four teams. It would be the Warriors, Akron Gold, Mount Aloysius, I believe that is their A team, and Robert Morris University. Those were your top four in NEL this semester. The Warriors play Akron today. And then they play Robert Morris on, confirming real quick, November 6th. They also play Mount Aloysius on October 30th, which is tomorrow. That one won't be broadcast here, but this one is today. This is a really good one. The Warriors and Akron Gold went to 5 during the regular season in NEL. And the Warriors came out on top there, going 7-0, as I mentioned. Akron Gold finished second at 5-2. Jonathan, Milio, and Oxy, a second-year roster that has done very well together. Can't say enough about how good those three are. But this first-year roster for the Warriors, well, Velocity and Reshiram have come over from Europe and simply put CRL on notice. Did not qualify for CRL closed qualifiers, notably. However, have had major wins over Cumberland, over Oklahoma Christian, over St. Clair Gold in NECC. They've had some pretty good results. Obviously, the Scenic City Invitational, you've heard Nutty talk about ad nauseum. We're going to Bluegrass just next weekend. We're also going to the WAC Conference Championship for this thing right behind me. Literally in like not even 40 to 72 hours, something like that. I'm really bad at math. We've kind of discussed this before. But yeah, this is going to be a good matchup. It's a best of 5 for this stage, I guess, for NECC. We're just kind of waiting for players to get in the lobby, get everything set up. Everyone's in a party. They're just kind of yapping about a tech pause, specifically, apparently. Players were in 2's games. They were queuing ranked. And then, apparently, after they got out of ranked, someone's PC blew up, like completely exploded. I actually can't confirm or deny whether or not a PC has entirely exploded, but I can confirm that we do have a tech pause thanks to our producer. I can confirm that Oxy's mic is not working, so it's an audio problem on Akron's side. So rip Oxy's mic, hashtag rip Oxy's mic in chat. Don't actually do that. All respect to them. I see Monkey Shines in chat. You'll see Monkey Shines here soon, too. Don't forget, if you saw the Twitter post, Monkey Shines will be joining us for that 7 o'clock game against Lesley University. That will directly follow this one. We'll see Monkey Shines here very, very soon. I see Chippy in chat saying tech yeah. I see Nutty as well saying tech yeah in chat. Nutty, good to see you again. Chippy is here as well. We are also here for Akron Gold and Indiana Tech. The series officially underway as Jonathan directly towards the net. And there is Resh, apparently now rebranded as Resh 24 with 1 touch. Now Emilio will send it back. He will get to midfield, a low 50 there from Bluey. Now Oxyon pursuit. He will go up over the top of one to the backboard, pops it high, but it's a little too far for Jonathan. And now Velo right to his European counterpart, and Resh, who will find a long clear. Jonathan, the veteran for Akron, will get 1 touch, and Oxy, the youngster for Akron, will look to move this one back the other way. Resh will work it around 1. He's got the backboard, looking to do it himself, but Jonathan is there. And now Akron back the other way. Milio, 1 touch. Velo will keep it out wide. And now Bluey will look to work this one back around 1. And now Resh to the backboard. Jonathan able to keep it high. The shot was just a little bit off target. for the Warriors. First minute come and gone. Still scoreless between these two. Reminder that these two went to 5 the last time they squared off in this league, as this one will bounce its way in front. And Velo will flick it right back out. Oxy into the corner. Velo was there just being aggressive, maybe looking for a boost that Milio ended up swiping. And now Milio, flip in hand, actually dropped it down to Oxy. Velo is there, one touch to the side. He will defer off to Resh. Resh with the 50. That's 2 gone for Akron. And now Milio in an awkward spot. Velo underneath, and it goes up over the top of Blue from the clear from Oxy. Akron handling the pressure well so far. Resh is there with 1. Make it to the 50, forces out to the right side, and now Velo forced to pursue. He's just going to go into the air slow, but Milio will close the gap pretty quickly, and now Oxy pursues. Into the middle, Jonathan saw the shot, but Bluey with a big clear. Now Milio keeps it out wide for now, but he's going to get cut down by an aggressive Warrior. Velo's shot is just wide. And now Oxy looking for the clear. Can't find the double, and now Resh maybe looking for the pursuit from Bluey, but he isn't there, and now Resh will just look to turn. He had a second man up. Actually, it was Oxy, I heard. And this will find its way into the Akron corner. Velo will pursue. Milio wins the 50. Bluey into the middle. Demo comes out. Resh low 50, denied by Oxy. And now Akron back the other way, 2v1. Milio has Bluey to beat. Gets it into the middle, but now the Warriors spring their own version of a counterattack. Velo, low boost, denied by Oxy on the backboard. And Bluey will watch this one go back the other way. Akron again, a 2v1. Milio, infield, cut off the pipe. First scoring chance, and it won't go for Akron. Now Jonathan with 1. This will actually finds way back to Milio, who I think left it for Oxy. Oxy fakes 1. And now he'll look to take space, but a hand is put up by the Warrior defense. And now Velocity with 1. Make it 2. Bluey had also committed. Resh with the low 50. Now Bluey with 1 to beat. It's Oxy. The 50 finds his way to the backboard. And Milio will springboard back the other way. Flip reset up over the top of 1. And the challenge goes back out the other way. Bluey denied by Oxy in the midfield, and Velocity will let the Frenchman find the American, but no contact there, and it is Milio back the other way. Resh will delete him, and now Velo for Resh, who will go for some open space. Bluey is there. He's got 1 touch, but it's denied by Milio, and Resh will send it back. 1:30 to go in game 1, no goals, and really only 1 scoring opportunity to speak of for either side. Although the Warriors looking to get one of their own here as they look to establish a press, but Akron, so far, so good. Velocity to the backboard. Oxy denies that one. Now Resh into the corner. Jonathan low boost. That's all he's going to have is just the 1. Bluey looking to do a little bit more here, but it's denied again by Milio. Resh thought he had a shot. That 50 is going to go back the other way, and now Velo with 1 touch. Jonathan in the final 60. He didn't get the 50, or rather the flip does go for the 50. And now Milio with about 80 boost in the tank will use about 60 of it to get it back to Bluey in the corner. Velo, 1 touch, although that 50 is into the middle for Jonathan, and Bluey will look to steer this one back out. Final 30 quickly approaching here in game 1. This is dropped down in front and denied. Resh, the second 50, no good. Velo finds Resh, and the clearance will follow. Milio is there as we do finally cross that final 30 seconds. Velo going for a bump. Anything here. Everyone committing for Akron, and again clearance comes out. Jonathan in pursuit with little boost, but he does pick up the 100. Oxy's shot is off the bar. Velocity back the other way. Final 5 seconds. Akron thought they might have had a chance. Now Bluey looking across for Velo, denied by Jonathan. And now Akron, 1 last look, but they will swing and miss. 5 minutes, no goals. We're going overtime in game 1. It is Milio directly off the kickoff. He is promptly bumped off the ball, but Velo is awkward. Oxy underneath. Jonathan will go out wide. Won't make contact on the follow, and neither will Milio. That opens up space for Resh, but he's not got a lot of boost. Now he picks up the 100. He's got to get around Oxy. Can't quite do that, and now Milio. He will come back the other way. Didn't really have much support, and now Resh will skim it back into the Akron end. Oxy is there. He'll send it off his own backboard. He gets demoed. There's a drop down towards the net, and it's Resh. 1-0 in game 1. It took 5 minutes and 32 seconds of game time, but it's Velo with a drop down for Resch on an open net from a demo. Makes it a 1-0 series lead. This is the first time I've actually had a chance to breathe. Hey, I said these guys were close. Velo with an assist and a save. Resch with the lone goal. Bluey with the save as well. On Akron's side, and a save apiece for Milio and Oxy. Milio a dog game. That's horrible butchering from me. Hey, look, there's the Tech Yaz. It's kind of an off angle of them. They didn't want to have their own cameras, so we made a camera angle for them. But there they are. I ain't got much more to say. I'm not going to make the not sponsored joke. And by not making it, I just made it. We're going into game 2 here in just a second. Producer is asking why Bluey is wearing a coat indoors. Because Bluey is ice cold. Ice in his veins. That's why, producer. We are taking a long time to get into game 2. I thought we would have been there by now. We are not. Someone's talking. We talk no more. Except I will. For game number 2, it is Bluey into the Akron corner. A long path for Akron to just drop game 1 by a score of 1-0. It is Resch, the game winner in game 1. Bluey will get bumped off the ball, and it will promptly go back to the Indiana Tech corner. Oxy is there. He will go to the backboard. Velo wasn't able to make contact, likely not on purpose. Resch will have 150. Bluey will pursue, but he'll just fake chow and end up taking a mid-boost instead. Now it's on Milio to do anything with the ball. Just gets to mid-50. And now Jonathan. He does have the flip, but Resch does get the ball past him. Oxy will pursue with some pace, but now it's Velo. He's got one off the ceiling. Didn't get the flip, but it will drop down in front. And Resch, I think, got challenged. Otherwise, that was a good look for the Warriors. And it's promptly cleared back by Akron. Velocity. Left wall. He's got space. He's got Bluey. Milio put a hand up. Anybody next? A bump does come out. But a midfield 50 will allow Akron back the other way. Just a pot shot denied by Resch from, I believe it was Jonathan. Confirmed was indeed Jonathan. Milio will put one in front. Bluey will work it back. The harassment coming out. Bluey cannot find the target. Just couldn't get the control. I will refrain from making a comment because I am no better. Velo looking for the 50. This will drop down for Resch. Bottom right. And the Europeans once again will strike. It's the Frenchman from the Englishman. It's 1-0 with 3:30 to go. It took 5:32 to get one goal. And, well, I'm bad at math, but I believe that is 1 minute and 30 seconds for us to get a second one. If I'm wrong, roast me in chat. If I'm right, also roast me in chat. I'm very roastable. Milio will send this one into the corner, but it's denied by Velo, who's only got 30 boost. Oxy will put a hand up, but Velo is just too strong. Milio back the other way. The 50 from Bluey will go promptly into the Warrior end. Milio hits the gym a little bit more. That one will find its way on target, but Bluey is there. Velo will deny the second opportunity, and now with a little bit of boost, Velo looking to do it himself, but he will get challenged by Oxy, and now Resch, he gets chow. Velo to the sidewall. What's he got in store? Well, Milio has decided nothing is for sale. Bluey will just send it backwards towards the Akron end. Oxy a little too slow for Resch's taste, so he'll just pick up the pace a little bit here. Velo into the corner, into the middle now, but it's right at Milio, and he will send this one right back into the Warrior corner. And he'll promptly cut off Bluey's attempt because it was apparently too easy. Jonathan looking for the double. The rebound's there for Oxy, and Akron's on the board with 2:15 to go. And to commit for the Warriors, it was Resch and Velo after Bluey had committed in the corner and lost his challenge. It's a 1-1 game with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. And once again, these two teams relatively close. And Milio looking to make it an Akron lead, but it won't happen this time. Bluey with 30 boost in the tank. He'll work around one. Jonathan with the second challenge. And with low boost, he'll just boom it back. Resh will have one. Velo will pop it high. Oxy on the follow. Got the flip. Will use it. Maybe looking for a second one. He will and use it again, but it doesn't go nearly as far. Bluey trying for the 50, but Milio with one touch. The second one promptly denied. Velo is already up. He'll drop it back down for Resh. And the lead right back in the Warriors' favor. It's Resh, his third of the series. Velo's third assist. It's 2-1 with 104 seconds to go. Jonathan and Resh. Bluey from the corner. What does Bluey have for us? Does he have the read? He does. It'll drop in front, but Milio was there. Milio will proceed to miss the ball. It will go back towards Velocity. What more does Velo have for us? A flip reset, he does. A shot, he also has. A dunk, he has too. It's 3-1. You just can't get him off the ball. "85 seconds on the clock and a 3-1 Warrior lead." And Resh from the ceiling will drop down in front. This time, Akron has decided the best strategy to get Velo off the ball is to not let Velo play the game. It does prove effective this time around. We will see if that strategy works out for them in the future. Oxy will watch as Resh will work this one into the middle. Milio will move it back. There is Velo once more. Can't demo him when he's not there, except they will demo another man. They'll look for more bumps too, but Resh was able to avoid the sweep and then make the save off the shot. Jonathan will try and drop this one down. Everyone commits. No goal to be found. 40 seconds on the clock. Resh looking downward, looking for the bump as well. Jonathan was able to steer it aside. Velo calmly around one. Gets a 50 on Oxy, who works it into the middle. Bluey, awkward 50 out in front. Resh, the first save. The rebound will go. And Milio has made it a one-goal game once more. That's just a tough rebound for Bluey in that position. 30 seconds. And a 3-2 game. It is Bluey looking for the double. I saw Monkey Shine say he needs one. There you go. Bluey has joined the chat. And the 2-goal lead has been restored. 22 seconds on the clock. Velo off the kickoff. He will get a slow 50. Bluey looking for maybe a midfield pass. Resh had actually pre-jumped it. Resh looking actually to the backboard. Fake the flip. Oxy ends up missing as well. Jonathan will send it back. Velo maybe looking for his psycho. Bluey will just send it aside. And that's game 2 for the Warriors. 4 of the 5 goals have been in favor of Resh and Velocity, but Bluey with the insurance marker able to secure game 2. Jonathan, 6 shots for Akron leading the way, had 2 assists as well. Milio and Oxy with the goals for Akron in this one. And it's a 2-0 series lead. You can't really see their faces, but if you've seen our streams before where we have had those webcams that you see behind their monitors, they're relatively expressionless, generally speaking. So actually they're laughing right now. Bluey's got a smile on his face. Bluey does smile quite a bit. He's a smiley, giggly, laughy guy, generally speaking. Game 3, here we go. Warriors in Akron. It is Velo with the open net, and Velo has struck again. It's 1-0, 5 seconds in, and guess what? Resh with the assist. It is Bluey off the kickoff. He will go to the backboard. Oxy is there. And Oxy with the flip will work it around Velo. Resh is there. Jonathan with one pop to the midfield. Velo, one touch. He gonna look to make it two. He'll actually look to the right side. He'll actually look to do it himself. What a recovery from Velo. It is Jonathan on the backboard. 30 boost in the tank. He'll flick it up over the top of one. And Milio will promptly deposit it in the top corner to tie this game at 1. That is what we in the industry call a banger, ladies and gentlemen. And Milio is kind of known for scoring said bangers. You have now seen on the official Indiana Tech broadcast, Milio scoring and a certified banger. This kickoff is in the Warrior end, and unfortunately Akron is pressing. It is Resh going up high. Oxy trying to drop it down. Velo looking to up the pace. Flip reset underneath, looking for more, but it's promptly sent right on back by the Zips defense. Milio with one. Resh will go underneath him. He'll actually slow 50 Oxy, and it goes really far all the way out to midfield. Jonathan just looking to keep it in. Bluey will defer to Resh. And now Resh maybe looking for the underdunk again. This time, Akron played a little bit better, and Jonathan will send it out. Oxy does indeed steal the boost, and then looks for Jonathan, but Jonathan either not prepared or the pass was a little bit off from where he expected it. And now Milio, another banger. It's 2-1. 3:32 to go here in Game 3. And for the first time in the series, the Warriors do indeed trail. They will fake the kickoff, and they will look for Bluey. Infield to Velocity. He will look for the pop. Denied by Jonathan. The rebound is there and cleared out by Oxy. Here comes Milio looking for three. He is denied by Bluey. And now Jonathan looking to join the party, and he will do just that. Akron is starting to heat up. It's 3-1 with 3:16 to go. Well, the Warriors got one 5 seconds in. Since then, the offense has been Akron's to keep, and it's been fueled by MDG. It is Velo, denied by Jonathan, who got a flip, and now Resh. Milio again, off the ceiling. He's starting to feel it. Velo up over the top of Jonathan, has to get around Oxy, gets a good 50, and now maybe an opportunity for the Warriors, but Oxy will send it back to safety in the corner. There is Milio once again. Jonathan is demoed. I think 2 here from Akron have been deleted. And now infield, maybe looking for Velocity. Everyone respawns. Jonathan has a break, but it is wide. So Velocity will look to send it back. He will pop it high, and here comes Reshiram. Resh is denied off the 50. And now Oxy. Akron is upping the pace here in Game 3. The Warriors are looking a little bit less individual and a little bit more based on a team, and Milio from out of nowhere. Jonathan will look to steer this one aside. The 50 finds its way back to Bluey. Oxy is there, but Jonathan decides that's my save, my points. You know what? Me too, Jonathan. I would do the same thing. Milio looking to do something here. He does get a flip, but Jonathan is on this thing. And now Velo, denied again by Jonathan. We're down to the final 100 seconds here. Akron is in certified control. It is Bluey. He'll actually defer now to Velocity, who goes underneath, but Jonathan has it red. Maybe Akron starting to download the Warriors here a little bit. Milio gets 50'd off to the left side. It is Resh. He's got Bluey with him. He might look for him here, but there's the 50 to commit. There's the shot, and Velo on the board. Well, Milio's got a couple bangers, and now Velo with one in his own right. That was bottom right. It's a 1-goal game with 71 of them there seconds on the clock. This is doable. Resh to the right side for the aforementioned Velo, who is also now looking for his third. The underdunk, Jonathan, that pops into a dangerous position. Bluey, sidewall read. Rather, I think that might have been Resh. I actually don't know who that was. No, that was Bluey. That was Bluey, can confirm. Their cars look similar. Resh will keep this one out wide for now. Now Jonathan. Nothing there, but he will get a really nice 50 out in the middle. Final 30, Velocity with control. A 50 on Oxy. A denial from Jonathan, but it's out in the middle for Bluey. Oxy had recovered in the right spot at the right time. Resh with a 50, that's all he'll have. And now Oxy with the attack. It goes back to Milio. Final 20 here in game 3. This will drop in front, and Oxy will throw it. The rebound goes. Jonathan makes it 4-2, and that will almost certainly send us to game 4. Confirmed, we are going to game 4. A twist in the story. Jonathan and Milio double dip. Velo also double dipped. It's a hat trick of 2-goal games. If that's a thing. If not, I just made it one. Resh with 2 assists as well. Everyone on Akron with an assist as well. Akron has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. I got nothing more to say. That was a good game. That was really well played by Akron. I have mentioned that Akron Gold is a good team. They are showing that they are a good team. I don't think I need to tell you, if you've been involved in the CRL scene for any amount of time, you know who these players are. Their reputation speaks for themselves. They're just going to try and show you for a little while longer that they are still very good at this here carball game. Pause for a moment. Never mind. Akron's back on the attack again, as it looked like the net might have been open. That is because I am not on the field. I am casting because I don't have the brains for this. Bluey will go to the right side. Oxy to the backboard. Velo is there. He will look on target, maybe looking for the dunk on Oxy, who just simply defers to the right side. Jonathan looking upfield for the extension in Milio. He will have one touch and maybe look infield, but that's about all he'll have, and it's cut off by the Warrior defense, which is promptly cut off by Oxy, which is promptly cut off again by Reshi. Here he comes, but he's denied by Jonathan. The Warriors are trying to play in space, and Akron is just simply not letting them right now. So I don't know how you figure this out if you're Indiana Tech. Maybe speed the pace up a little bit. That challenge from Velocity almost certainly doesn't help. But that does give you space in the long term in a very confusing manner. A bump comes out, but unfortunately a double bump comes out for Akron. But fortunately, Velocity did respawn in time and is able to make the save. Unfortunately, Akron's still pressing. But fortunately, the threat appears to have been mitigated for now. Oxy in the air. Had 100 boost. Now it's about 28. Flip reset. Unable to connect. And now Velocity will pop one back, but Jonathan keeps the press on. Resh around 1. 28 boost. He'll drop it down for Bluey, who is denied there by Jonathan once more. Off the ceiling. No boost. Just throws it on target. It goes! Oxy had no boost. And Bluey, with I think only his second goal in the series, correct me if I'm wrong, gives the Warriors a 1-0 lead here in game number 4. A demo off the kickoff. Jonathan does not care about said demo. Resh denies said shot. And then more demos come out. Akron keeps the press on. Milio to the backboard, rather the corner. Velocity dodges the bump, then proceeds to try and pinch it out, but the pinch is denied. Oxy will promptly working around the Warrior defense, but a whip from Jonathan leads to a lack of capitalization. And will that have an impact? Bluey will proceed to recover off another seemingly open net. And the Warriors will work it out, and Oxy off his own backboard. It is Resch. That's a 2-goal swing. It's 2-0. That is a backbreaker for Akron if you do not strike within the next 30 to 45 seconds. They look to do exactly that off the kickoff. And that one will float off the crossbar. A lack of precision. And then a denial from the Warrior defense, plaguing Akron here. 2 minutes on the clock. And fortune favoring the Warriors. Oxy, no boost in the tank. Bluey will keep the press on. Milio will look to heat back up again. This is promptly sent back towards the Warrior end. Bluey will work it out to mid. Jonathan is there, and he will pop it infield for Reshi. Here comes Reshiram. He gets the second touch on Milio. Oxy around him. Milio is going to stay close to at least deny the early challenge, but Bluey wins it. And now Velo back to Bluey, denied by Oxy. Final 90, Oxy to the extension, and Milio denied by Resh on the goal line. Oxy will watch as Jonathan sends it back. Bluey will steer that one aside, and it's promptly sent right back out again by the Warriors. Milio will not make contact. Bluey for the dagger. It's the Frenchman's second of the game. Three, nothing. And where Akron has not been able to execute, the Warriors have found a way to get gritty goals. Jonathan looking to get one back. Nothing there. Bluey will move this one right on back. And now Resch. One, that's all. Bluey infield. Basically right at the defense and daring them to make the save. This time Akron does. Oxy looked for the skim on target. That is a shot off the pipe, and I think denied by Bluey. I can't tell if that was in or not. I'm going to say that it was going in and denied by the Warrior defense. Milio might have an open. He instead proceeds to pop it to the backboard. Jonathan will find it. So with 41 seconds on the clock, Akron's on the board, and we might have a game here. We have seen Akron keep things close. We've seen Akron also run away with things. Just saying. It ain't over until there be zeros on their clock and the ball on the ground. Akron with another differentiated kickoff. And now Bluey with the 50. Oxy with one touch. Velo will deny it. Final 30. Resch will have one. Oxy clears it right on back. Milio with one. Velocity is there. And now Milio will go to the backboard. Reshi with one. It is kept in by the Warriors, and with every clock second ticking away here, Akron's hopes of keeping the series alive fade away. 5 seconds on the clock, and that will do it. Akron will fall to your Warriors by a score of 3-1 in game number 4. 3-1 in the series. That's a W. And that is a tech yeah indeed. Bluey showed up in the series clinching game with a goal, and assist, 3 saves, 2 shots, and 2 demos to his name. The Frenchman as well with 2 baguettes, 1 assist, 4 saves, 2 shots, and 3 demos. Velocity with an assist, 2 saves, and 4 shots as well. Jonathan with a goal, Milio with an assist, Jonathan also with a save, and Oxy with 2 as well. Hey, a rare Coach Jake sighting on the Tech Yeah Cam. Producer has asked me how this affects LeBron's legacy. I'll leave that question for Monkey Shines when he gets here in a little bit. But that will bring the Warriors to 1-0 in the winner's circle in NEL. But we're not done. That was, well, game 1 of 2. The appetizer to your main course, if you will. We have Lesley University coming up here in about 20 minutes, give or take. We'll take a moment, breathe. It's still early. We'll see you back here soon. 3-1 Warriors over Akron. Warriors and Lesley in NECC coming up in just a moment.
Take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home. And it too far to say that we cannot pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you'll find a way to bring me home. And I want something I can hold. That's worth
understand it. This wasn't the plan. Don't wanna demand it. I've done what I can. And I never mentioned the times you were rude. And I never mentioned when you hear the truth. Scared to lose it all. I will stand a chance. And I don't wanna fade. What if I can't walk away? You gotta stay away. mistake. Hoping I don't make the same mistake. I don't like to leave things unresolved. Maybe it's madness. I'm begging you, please pick up the call. You're causing me damage. I should've known wasn't your fault. Don't even matter. I wasn't thinking clear, trying to take it there. Scared to lose it all. I won't stand a chance, and I don't wanna fake it. What if I can't walk away? You got me standing in the rain, hoping I don't make the same mistake.
And we are back. I told you you would have Monkey Shines, and Monkey Shines has arrived. How you doing?
Doing great. Had the opportunity to sit down and watch just a tremendous victory, an emphatic victory, dare I say, over Akron. In that one, liked a lot. We were kind of talking about that before jumping back in here. I saw a great deal. I liked in that a heck of a lot of confidence, being able to respond once Akron kind of settled in there for a bit. Just a whole heck of a lot. And I'm just genuinely curious playing a team like that. I'm absolutely not going to call it a warm up per se, but a great way to get your evening started. So much on the line here in NECC action here. Lesley again fighting for so much. So I think it's a great way to start things off, able to get a win like that. Coming into a moment like this where, I mean, Bub, you were telling me just run down everything that is all on the line here for Lesley. They are going to throw I'd say everything but the kitchen sink. They're going to rip copper wiring out of the walls for this one. Yeah,
it is scoreboard watching season, folks. You've seen it. Well, all week this week on our broadcasts, we are one win and a Kennesaw State loss away from clinching NECC playoffs. Lesley is on the antithesis of that experience right now. A loss for Lesley tonight, plus an Akron Blue win over Northwood, which Monkey Shines, you and I were talking about, would be a wild result, but not the craziest thing. We've talked about that. An Akron win and a Lesley loss here also ends Lesley's season. So a lot on the line for Lesley. Obviously, we're trying to leave no questions as we get into week 7 in NECC. It's going to be a good one. Lesley's coming off a 4-1 loss as well to Ole Miss. We're also coming off a 4-1 loss to Northwood. So both teams also trying to right the ship from last week when you look at how the results went. Well, 7 days ago.
We also discussed, I think, the need for the boys to not just start off quickly, but find confidence. And my goodness, all 5 seconds in, we saw a 5-second goal in Game 5 versus Akron, but that one sent up right down center field. Indeed, Dre will follow up, making it 1-0 in a hurry. But again, this is a best of 7. It is a battle of mental fortitude, such as it is, and 5 seconds ain't going to determine this one.
Well, however, 7 seconds.
Neither will 7.
Yeah.
Neither will 7. Neither will 7.
Well, Dre said he was taking charge in the parentheses in his name. Colette has also joined the party. 7 seconds in. There's a lot of time, as you said. 7 seconds is 7 seconds. It's 2 kickoff goals. Life goes on. Lesley did just try for a third. I do want to point that out. They nearly had a third. Colette looking for one there. A demo in the backfield will open up some space, and this shot will just go wide. Velocity with an attempt out in front, and now the rebound off the bar is still there, and Dre will send it out. Lesley will look for the counter back the other way. A quick start for Lesley. The Warriors looking for a response. This is actually headed back, but Swaz will catch a control from his own corner.
Yeah, if you're a Lesley fan, I mean, the best thing, not only getting on the board twice, but doing so not by Swaz. And again, no shade on the other 2 members of this Lesley roster, but if you ask me, say, hey, who do you think is going to be putting those first 2 on the board, within a minute? My brain is going to initially shift to Swaz. Been able to watch him a fair bit. Mechie player, a little bit of everything. Definitely worthy of a C on the chest. But yeah, this is what you fully appreciate in the moment, right? You were talking about how much is on the line here for Lesley. But constant denial. And one thing that we did see as well against Akron is the boys were able to really outpace them at the end. And this is a team where we are going to have to see, not just the pre-jumps, but the pre-jumps right now. Lesley, it is a swarming effort.
Yeah, aggression from Lesley here early. 3:30. There's an infield pass for Velo. Denied again by Dre, but you got to believe that, well, like you said, 7 seconds, 2 goals. There's plenty of time for the Warriors to get one, and there is one from Reshiram. It's 2-1 with 3:16 to go.
Reshiram 3:16 says, I hope you didn't get comfortable as of right now, because if you didn't remember, Reshiram able to kick off the scoring party for the Warriors against Akron. Of course, there was that lead, that being, of course, an OT winning goal in game number 1. Don't know that we will not see a pair of goose eggs shifting on in to an overtime. Stands up, Louie. gonna knot this one up. And again, but so much time in this one to be able to bring things even. Right now, if you're the Warriors, you're saying, all right, let's, as quick as this team is, find a way to take some deep breaths, do some box breathing, slow things down to some level of degree, and it is bully ball in net again. Lesley asserting dominance here in the early going, the clear out. And my goodness gracious, Lesley, I mean, coming in hot. Fully appreciate it. 2:54, still time, but want to see the Warriors match intensity, match that tempo here in a hurry.
We did see them start to pick up the pace a little bit. This time, Bilo looking to return the favor, but he will swing and miss on the attempt in this one. Sent back to the left side, Bluey, low boost. He will be cut off there by Colette. And Bilo caught in an awkward position. That will allow the initiative to go back for Lesley. There's another bump coming out. The message clear from Lesley. Now Resh, he'll actually swing and miss. This will pop out in front, and Bilo looking to take some space. Maybe just looking for the second attempt, and that is denied. Now Resh, the 50 in the middle. It's a little awkward for Bluey, so he'll just look to keep control. Flip reset in hand. He will use it, and it is denied by Colette. Resh on the corner, keeping the pressure on. A demo in the backfield, but it is in favor of the Warriors. Make it 2 demos. Bluey up over the top of Swaz, not quite. Bluey will defer to Velocity, who now looks up front for Resh on the extension. Into the corner, now out in front, but cleared back out. And here's Lesley on the counter. It's 4-1. And with every goal like this, you think game one might be getting a little bit further out of reach for the Warriors.
Yeah, just a little bit out of sorts for the time being. But I will say, looking at the macro level here, Bub, I am liking this. I am liking this opportunity for the Warriors to be put in a spot where they've got a team that backs up against the wall. They will be trying everything and anything, as this Lesley team has done, and they are going to be ferocious. We have seen at times this is a Warrior team that has struggled with people popping them in the mouth, that are cutting them off, not giving this space. So a great opportunity for them to be able to adjust when a lot is on the line. Not to suggest, of course, a lot isn't on the line for Tech, but that went up by back of the net, and I am surprised, but I had to wait this long to say his name. Indeed, it is Swaz, and right now it is a vibe if you are a fan of Lesley. So this one getting off the rails in a hurry, and if we're not going to take game number one, at least finding some positive momentum to shift on over into game number two, but right now this is all Lesley and then some.
Well, that's the good thing about a best of 7 too, is you do have that extra game. You have a little bit more time to download the other team, but Lesley has the Warriors downloaded, installed, and they figured everything out. 6 goals, and not even in 4 minutes.
Right now, 404 defense not found. Buck 18 left to go in this one. I know folks eyeballing their passports quite possibly. Look, I don't need a holiday that bad, and for this one to go awry, to go this awry in game number one, yeah, this is a kind of game that can have reverberating effects going on. I mean, it's not just a game 1 to game 2 sort of thing. I mean, this one sits in the back of your brain. So I'm really curious to see how the Warriors are going to be able to respond in game number 2. Memory of a goldfish, because at the end of the day, like you say, it is a single solitary game. Doesn't mean how much you may lose it by. It's just being able to reset, and not going to be a 7-1 situation in that case. Dre jockeying for position along with the rest of the Warriors, now taking it high. Opportunity to maybe follow. Stalls, but no, going to be denied by Dre. And indeed, I mean, you can't put taking charge out there in your name, in parentheses, and not be able to do just that. Lest you look the fool, but it has been anything but that for Dre. Taking a charge in the early going, nobody able to follow up on the shot, and again, Lesley just complete clamp down defense yet again.
Lesley is a little low on boost here, but the Warriors don't really have the advantage the other way. There's a good bump. Bluey the cut, but no follow. Velocity looking to keep the press on. 10 seconds, this game is over. Swaz will look to send this one back, and Lesley, well, we're going to Brazil. This one, a Jet 2 holiday brought to you by, I think, Reshiram, actually. Yes, this one was deposited by Reshiram. 7-1 Lesley in game 1. That goal hardly means a thing. Hey, for Lesley, this is best case scenario. For the Warriors, I almost feel like this isn't a bad thing as well. You kind of alluded to it as well, Monkey Man, that... Or Monkey Man. Monkey Shines.
Sure enough.
Did I just call you Monkey Man?
It's
wow.
True enough.
Wow. I can't believe I've done
We're getting there. Well,
I can't believe
I can never replace. But yeah, to your point, I mean, have a look at this one. Collat able to step up there, right? The kickoff strats on point from the get-go. Almost saw 3 back-to-back-to-back. It is, again, a fine opportunity for the boys to be able to respond not only to a team, like I said, back up against the wall, but to play like that. We talk about the mental aspect so much. I mean, we're going to find a lot about these boys here in the early going, but if you are Indiana Tech right now, your focus isn't necessarily even the end of game number 2. I think it's the opening 15 to 30, and then you shift on over to the next 15, 30 seconds, because right now you got to find a way to not just necessarily slow down your opposition, but to slow things down for yourself.
Oh, 100%. It also helps that you basically get, I don't know how long that game was effectively over when you talk about the score difference, but it kind of works as an extended timeout. You have more time to talk than you would in a 1-0 game, 2-1 game, a game that is very, very close, and Bluey looking to promptly give the Warriors the lead. This one is denied. Resch will look to set up velocity. His shot is wide. But immediately the Warriors are on the attack, and Lesley is, well, now on the front foot, and they are probably looking for bumps. But Lesley in game 1 as advertised. We talked about how they had everything on the line. They're, well, effectively they're desperate, looking to keep their semester going here in NECC. They have everything left to play for, and they played exactly like it. You can't fault Lesley for that.
I mean, at this point, sir, there is no page of the playbook that you are leaving unturned. You are looking left, right, front, and center from page 1 to page however many you may have back of the book, because, yeah, like I said, you can't leave anything out there if you are Lesley, and denied yet again. Velocity demo memo passed out, but gonna be able to reassert yet another opportunity. Our Tech popped away now, and Lesley again clamping down, constant denial, and opting to be exceptionally patient. Why not? Because you have a team in Indiana Tech, again, they have to open up with speed. Right? Speed is what opens the door. We can see a dominant and aggressive team. Saw it against Michigan State there in the open qual #1 tourney. But it is all about finding a way on the board in a hurry and Reschrup. Now, what I like here, Bo, really, really quick. It takes about a minute 30 before either team scores. So not only have you denied your opposition, shifting over from what you saw in Brazil, you are able to score first. That absolutely huge for Tech.
Yeah, huge. 3:33 to go. We're on the board. Not only on the board, we're in the lead for the first time. Resch will look to promptly make this a 2-0 lead, and he'll do so successfully. He finds Bluey, and it's a 2-0 lead.
Congratulations, you have officially doubled your offensive output of game #1, and there is a fluidity that I'd say we didn't see in game. I mean, we saw nothing. We saw just shock and awe there, courtesy of Lesley. But again, really testament to what the boys have been able to do here in game #2. And what's good for one is good for the other, they say, with the kickoff strats. See if we can get a save on that one. Sure enough, it is the Sen, and Indiana Tech looking far more livelier. I don't know if that was necessarily, I don't know, say it was impossible by any stretch of the imagination, but there is certainly an enthusiasm, certainly a confidence that has been regained, and actually finally able to indeed slow things down, or at least in comparison to Lesley. And again, just trying to get up in the grill of Indiana Tech are Lesley, understandably so. It's where teams have been successful in the past as the demos come out to play, but the boys looking to respond in kind.
Oh, Velo just doesn't have the boost to turn on it, but he does get the demo. The release valve just not found here for Lesley, and the pressure starting to become overwhelming. Bluey drop down for Velo. That will get denied, but it's still free in the midfield, and Lesley, Swaz the only one with boost over the halfway mark. Collat will finally grab some, but Bluey will get another 50 in the midfield. Another bump coming on the back line. Finally, some clearance found. And Collat will actually promptly deposit this back in his own corner. This could be trouble. Bluey is going to go for the bump. It's available. Velocity gets 50'd, and the press continues. Everyone's committed, though, here for Lesley. Velo denied by Collat on the goal line.
Great defensive work there for Lesley, and they turn it into offense. My goodness, just absolutely tremendous, just a vibe back there, and indeed popped away. I am not shocked by any stretch of the imagination that I am saying. The individual kicking off the scoring for Lesley is Swaz, an individual that sees every single angle. It is full. I don't care. You want to talk about beautiful mind, talk about whatever you must, but Restrum, it has been a vibe for him as well. Again, Lesley able to pop off and then some. If you're just getting in here, it was a Brazilian game number 1. So again, the pendulum now swinging for Indiana Tech in their favor, but got to keep the foot on the gas, got to respond. Again, Lesley, taking their time, got plenty of time right now for them. It is a single solitary score. Bring this one tied yet again, but Indiana Tech, again, what a response to be able to find themselves in this situation. That was get off the dome of Swaz. Restrum opting to head back at the 100 in the corner, take possession, send away now. Res big hard, gonna chase after it. I thought maybe power slide into a goal, but back and forth. This one does go above velocity, sent high, the send away. Can they fall? They cannot. Lesley able to clamp down yet again.
One will find its way back out. Velocity from his own backboard has one, make it 2. He is met, though, by Collat, who rises to the occasion. This promptly deposited on target by Resh, which is denied by the Lesley defense. Another centering attempt denied, this time by Swaz. Bluey will ask another question. Collat will provide an answer. And a bump comes out, which will provide some space, enough for them to send it towards the Warrior net. Resh will have one. He'll look for a bump. Collat is low boost. I don't know if the Warriors know it. Bluey will just cut down some space. Velocity has a few from the backboard, and he'll get a nice 50 up over the top of the midfielder Collat, and that will provide some clearance. Now Resh, flip reset underneath off the corner. Collat, he'll look across. It's popped away by Swaz. Final 15 here in game 2, and this would be a big moment for the Warriors if they can hold off this last push. That's a great 50 to do just that. An attempt there from Resh denied, and now one final push from Swaz. Still available. It's off the pipe, and the Warriors do take game number 2.
There's some clenching of teeth there, most certainly, but what a response. And not just being able to get the win, but in the fashion that they did, slowing things down, saying, yeah, you know what, the whole 7 thing, the whole rapid fire offense, no, we're not really feeling that right now. And being able to stall for Lesley, again, backs up against the wall, just every second that ticks by without something there on the board. I mean, that's the kind of thing that it's a seed that's planted in the back of your mind. Them to be able to go out there with that 2-goal lead and just staring down the pitch saying, we dare you to do a thing, killing the clock, just taunts. They are out there in body car language, whatever you want to say. I'm loving it in the response, not just the score, but how Tech did it. Let's see what they got in number 3.
Well, this best of 7 has now promptly turned into a best of 3. They have been outscored 8-3, nearly 8-4, but Collat does recover here. The series, 1-1. Dre will look to have something to say about that. The follow-through from Collat was denied by Velocity, and now Resh, we've seen this before, this one not on target. Swaz will look to bring it back the other way for Lesley, and it is sent back by the Warriors. Dre from his own corner will have not much, so Collat will look to work this one across, but it's kept in play here by the Warriors, so Swaz will just look for some space. We've seen Lesley do this a lot, and the Warriors are starting to establish a foothold in the offensive end when Lesley plays the ball across from their own net. Usually teams like to play the ball towards their teammates, but the Warriors are cutting this off a lot, Monkey Shines, and it makes you wonder maybe if Lesley either A, sees this and makes an adjustment, or if B, Lesley has figured out the fact that the Warriors are just playing these crosses in front of their own net. For now, though, Lesley has possession.
I think so. And Lesley, as we've seen that tremendous defense, they can afford to be patient. We saw where it got them in game number 1, and of course establishing a foothold there early, courtesy of the kickups. But now in a situation where we are ticking ever closer towards $1.30 in this one, and we see goose eggs. I thought maybe momentarily Castor Kirsten Lesley there for a moment, but Swaz oftentimes drop these back down. Shot situation, it gets renewed for the moment, and then stolen away by the Warriors. Out across, Velocity is there. However, that moment did back down, needs a little bit more emphasis, maybe a bump to be able to be converted if you are a Warrior. Now Collat Heading up, that one gets away, and what a read. It is Bluey, primary color, primary player, set high, able to pop it back down, was Resh, and my goodness, I think one of the few times we have seen Lesley miss a line back there in defense.
Well, Bluey spotted a vacant net, and he did not miss it from midfield. That's a big one for the Warriors to get a lead here with about 3 minutes or so on the clock. We'll see how Lesley is able to respond. They may have... Okay, I thought the response was going to be going down 2-0 again. It might not be done. That is denied by a conglomerate of Lesley players. And now maybe the response off the double, this time denied by Velocity. Still 1-0 as we near the halfway mark of game number 3.
I'll say, if you're Lesley, I don't like the idea of going speed for speed with this Indiana Tech crew. I really enjoyed, again, the ferocity, the ferociousness that you supplied earlier. You were able to cut this team off, but if you give them space, if you give them the opportunity to regain boost, you can clear things out just like that. And Swaz, this is what I'm talking about. Right there, bub. If you are going to best this team, it has to be punishment back there. And indeed, fine clear out. Lesley able to knot this one up. But yeah, it goes both ways, honestly. If you can give Lesley the opportunity to reset, to feel comfortable with their attack and not just kind of sit at one end, sit at the other, and dare them to do a thing, eventually they will do a thing just like that. And it has been the patience that has afforded Lesley not only a game at #1 victory, but also an opening goal here. Be denied as the Warriors looking to press up here yet again, but we sort of feel the teeter-totter movement right here, just kind of things an ebb and flow to this series, Bob.
Oh yeah, and anything but comfortable for either team in their own end right now. Anytime that somebody has a scoring opportunity, you can feel the tension from both defenses. Lesley, the fear, as well as us on our own end. Although this one is another threat. This time it is Kalat with the answer, and Swaz will look for the response. Bluey is back here. The touch from Resh straight to Kalat. Flip reset. Velocity was there. This one is steered aside, no problem. Dre will bring this one out in front. This is scary and punished by Swaz. We have talked a little bit earlier about how sometimes the Warriors shaky in their own end. Here is example number 1 tonight of said defense being shaky at times.
So as I just said this in, anytime, boys, anytime, and there we go. Very good. That's all I needed. Thank you very much. But in these moments, for Lesley, again, we've talked about how much is on the line, that the stakes understood at this point. For Indiana Tech, it is about confidence. It is about finding that confidence, and the longer Lesley can go, well, that also works. Restaurant, indeed, confidence will be gained on that one. Velocity, and ends up kind of stalling it there for a hot second. Swaz not able to grab it. Indiana Tech with the knot up. So again, right now it's a 2-2 situation. Tech again trying to maintain, trying to cultivate a fragile confidence. Meanwhile, Lesley again trying to stay focused under pressure. So both of these teams some significant mental challenges right now, Bub, and it's all about who flinches first, and not going to end that moment is Lesley. Swaz able to get the demo and the mid-100, because why not? Kalat with the denial, and again, this game number 3, you talk about essentially shifting on into a best of 5, but this game 3, so much on the line in the here and the now. Just some level of momentum for both these teams, different types, but still gigantic, is it?
Oh, and Bluey. Well, we've seen, you said, things shifting, strategies changing. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm sure you have, the last 2 goals for the Warriors have been enabled by some bully ball in response for the Warriors. Lesley, no secret that they have enabled their offense by clearing the way, playing bulldozer a little bit. Velocity got a disgusting bump on the second goal. Some space cleared for Bluey to have that shot by another bump. Resh will clear some space here for Lesley by not hitting the ball, but Velocity will handle it with no problem. 3-2 Warriors here in the dying moments of game number 3. And again, it's time to clench your teeth a little bit, as this is stressful, but maybe not. A swing and miss.
Tip them if you got them. It is the hat trick for Bluey, and indeed, sir, able to go out there. What is it? Just a 3-goal run, easy peasy. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier on, when you see Indiana Tech comfortable with speed, when you then start to see them shift on over into that bully ball, into consistent demos, that is how you know you are in trouble as an opponent, and you need to shift in due order, because once they start doing that, once they start ladling on other significant factors to their game plan, that is the confidence you do not want to see. If you are Lesley, there is a gigantic siren going off right in front of you saying you got to find a way to close that space and make life difficult for them. 8 shots for Bluey, 3 on net. That is a shot chart I will take every day of the week. And Colette, for as much offense as we saw from them in the early going, just so much pressure on Lesley in that one and not able to respond. Hey, if Tech is able to come out here and score a couple times here in the early going, look, I'm not a soothsayer. I wish I could give you some lottery numbers, but that may spell the end for Lesley.
Hey, I honestly think the biggest positive sign we saw was the increase in physicality, matched by goals being scored immediately following that. That was a massive point of success for the Warriors earlier in the season. Velocity is going to find top left 9 seconds in, by the way. This one, well, I was going to say not enabled by a bump, but you can clearly see on the replay somebody got demoed off the kickoff. That is, well, you kind of said it a second ago, terrifying for Lesley. Raise the alarm bells. It's 1-0 Warriors again.
Saw a cheeky little pop on the side there by Swaz, and I fully appreciate this, not just because, oh, you know, you did it because you were there. You have to find some way, and I mean any single solitary way, to try to get in the heads of Indiana Tech if you are Lesley. So yes, if you've got an individual sitting over there and you can pop them even after a goal has been scored, the kind of thing, it does snowball, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, Indiana Tech, again, comfortable, confident, and after that game number 1, I mean, that was an opportunity, much like against Akron, when Gold was able to find something. Those are moments when, you know, sometimes this team struggled with shifting back in and finding a cohesive unit yet again. But much like this, game number 1, that's a moment where we have seen these guys kind of shrug their shoulders a little bit, say, oh man, here we go again. That has not been the case out here. I'm exceptionally proud of how they responded.
Yeah, absolutely. They're looking to keep the press on here. That's a good 50 from Resch. That will end up just being a challenge that finds its way back into the Frenchman's hands, who, well, gets challenged by Colette. Velocity off the corner, not able to get the second touch, and well, now it's Lesley looking to, well, take charge, for lack of a better term. Dre, with about 14,674 touches, will eventually lead to a ball left into the hands of Velocity, who will just simply pot this one on target, steal the boost, stay on the ball because, well, Velocity is just not giving space. Promptly back into the Warriors' end, where Bluey will hand off to Reshi, and it will go back to Velocity once more. Into his hands again. Flip reset. Out in front. Reshiram will bury it. It's 2-0.
Rechi vibing from really game number 1. I mean, still able to get on the board as well in game number 1. So a little bit of something, a lot of bit of something in some cases, both of the series that we've seen this evening. And for Indiana Tech, well, there you go. You are up 2-0 for Lesley. Again, if the warning bells weren't going off, I mean, just absolutely blaring in your ears, having to respond here in a hurry. You've got 3 minutes left, but it's a bumpery between Lesley, the clear out, and indeed Indiana Tech actually giving them the opportunity to refresh themselves along the goal line and deny. So, I mean, things at least over the past 2 games going off the rails for Lesley, and it continues on. Swaz just getting smacked around, trying to get sorted, but unfortunately coming up empty. If you are a Lesley fan, we are not even at halftime of the boys with the team hat trick.
Well, it has gone off the rails and about 600, 700 feet away from said rails here for Lesley. Now, to be fair, we did say the same thing about Indiana Tech when we gave up 2 goals in 7 seconds in game 1. There is a lot of time for Lesley to respond.
Of course.
But this is certainly a you respond now, or the implications the rest of the way are dire at best for Lesley. 3-0, a little under half the game left. The Warriors look, I think, more confident than we have seen them in a while right now. And Resh off the ceiling, looking to keep the press on. If you're Lesley, I mean, even the bumps to physicality, they will find one here. Okay, I was going to say they haven't really found much success. They do find one here. That's a beautiful play from, as you mentioned at the beginning of the series, Swaz, who finds Dre.
And I will say it's not just that game number one. Yes, there is a ton of time here for Lesley to be able to come back and score on this one. But we look at this. We look at the stakes not only coming into it, but also in that game number one. Right? Really didn't know what the situation was going to be coming into this one. You're able to get on the board multiple times. Lesley, so much success offensively, really dominating the entire game. This is a different moment. This is a different moment. The opposition now up 2-1. If they win here, you have to win. Just like so many, your back is up against the wall and everything. You are playing for your season. You are playing for all of it. Every single solitary game. And that is not any way to go through life. Meanwhile, if you're on the opposite side of that, Indiana Tech, the last thing you want these guys to do, aside from giving them the opportunity to get all the boosts they want, aside from giving them the opportunity to have all of the room in front of them for the Mechie-Mechs, it is a confident team. And to put them in that situation where it is 3-1, not just on the scoreboard as it is right now, but also the series scoreboard for Lesley. I mean, that is a gigantic hurdle to clear. And really right now, this series, it may very well come down to this next minute as if they can't get on the board here in 30 seconds, I don't think they can possibly come back to grab this one. If they don't do that, I don't think they can take the series.
That was incredibly creative from Bluey. Almost too creative and almost led to a counterattack and an opportunity for Lesley. Velocity recovered well. Props to the idea. 30 seconds left. You are absolutely correct, Bunky Shines. Lesley has to strike now, and Velocity is going to dash all hopes of them striking. Well, now, Resh will keep the attack on. He'll fake underneath. He'll promptly look for the bump. Swaz, one last gasp here. Otherwise, Lesley, not only, like you said, playing for your season, you have no lives left in this series. 15 seconds on the clock. One more shot off the bar. And one last push, maybe. Here's a play towards the net, denied by Bluey. That should do game number 4. It will be a 3-1 lead for the Warriors. And Lesley, well, the clock's ticking now. You're out of lives.
Yeah, it's officially about, 11:45. We are ticking ever closer to midnight, and a high shot chart for both of these teams. Ultimately, Velocity able to notch a couple. Resh, of course, has been a consistent score, and I got to say, I'm loving the fact that we are seeing him more often. We are very familiar with the Bluey and Velocity show, of course, but seeing Resh step up in this way, I think it bodes well for this team on the whole. Like I said, I look micro, I also look macro as well. So now you have a level of confidence in this when you are playing with house money. Absolutely the last place you want to draw position to be, with all of the freedom, going total Bob Rossi, and there's no such thing as mistakes, just happy little accidents. Again, for Lesley, it is in fact 9:45, 9:50. The clock ready to strike midnight, and if they cannot strike as quickly on offense as they did in game number 1 here in the early going, we may be Dunskies.
5 minutes on the clock for the Warriors to, either look to punch their ticket to the NECC playoffs, or will we see a game number 6? We're going to find out. Nothing so far, but aside from game 1, this has been the rule. It is Dre from his own corner, a ceiling pinch straight back into the Warrior end. Velocity with one touch. This is actually just going to find its way back into Kalat's hands, who will look for Swaz in the corner. There was no corner boost to be found. Resh will just poke the ball off his car, and Velocity will look to take control, work it around 1. He'll get 50'd. So that will keep the ball in the Warrior end, but Bluey around a second Lesley player, and now Kalat off the sidewall, looking for 2, make it 2. Velocity. He was looking for a man in the midfield, but this will springboard Lesley unless that bump happens. Swaz will lose control, and Bluey will flick it towards the target. Kalat steers it aside. Resh out into the middle. I thought he might have had the read for a second. You got to believe with the Frenchman, but this time nothing to be found, and Lesley will try and steer this one back. Monkey Shines, this has been an abnormally calm and slow game for what pace we have seen in this series.
Well, keep in mind, I mean, what we see right now in this one. It's kind of like when you have that 7-1 lead. You have a 3-1 lead in this moment, and you have a 1-0 lead if you are a Lesley fan able to crack the goose egg. The one sin I will say that Indiana Tech absolutely cannot afford. The word of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it is hubris. Yes, you are on the cusp of getting this win, but still, Lesley, again, just thumbing through the playbook, saying, what could we possibly throw at these guys? What kickoff strats can we create? Can we invent new meta on the spot? That would be absolutely fantastic if we possibly can. But still, Indiana Tech, it is a 5 for Bluey. Looking to follow, but no, will be denied right into the teeth of the defense. However, Memo passed out, frenching in the printer for Indiana Tech. And again, Lesley having to strike here in a hurry, able to get on the board first, and absolutely critical for them. Just again trying to hold down the fort now on their goal line. Been successful a number of times, but again, just the rapid fire offense that we saw earlier on, you got to wonder as well, Bob, was that because of how good they were in that moment, or was it because there was a little bit of shell shockage for Indiana Tech?
I would argue a little bit of both. I don't think it's necessarily one or the other. I don't think the two are necessarily mutually exclusive. What I do think is that Lesley has, for the second time in the series, left their net open, and the Warriors have properly punished it. The first time was Bluey, the second time is Velocity. And again, the trend remains true. A Lesley demo has been followed up by a Warrior goal. Lesley, one goal is not enough. You now need 2. And you probably need it soon for your own mental. 2:20 on the clock. We'll see what, well, the next 2 minutes have in store. Swaz, looking to promptly restore said lead. Bluey will have one challenge while putting it in reverse. Resh is there. He will put this one on the near pipe, and the challenge will actually find its way straight to Bluey, and he will go from this ball going 0 miles an hour to about 70 via the pinch, and this will find its way on the near pipe. Velo, no contact to be found, and Swaz will move it back. But for Lesley, yeah, no lead is safe, even if you do get that first one. Clearly, it isn't enough, and Velo looking to make it 2 right away. Still available on the goal line. Swaz will steer it aside. The press not over, and finally, Lesley at least able to breathe for a moment.
The curious thing to me as well, as much praise as I have ladled on the defense of Lesley, they have just been so pushed far up, linking straight down center field. It's really curious to me that all of a sudden, like, I don't know, man. I'm honestly surprised they are able to lock down so very much. But again, I really think that speaks to the speed of Tech. And again, now with a confidence, but Collat not going gently into this good night is Lesley.
We talked about how Lesley has everything to play for, and sometimes you just gotta go. Collat trusts the miss. The Warriors, well, they do. And now Lesley with the lead with 68 seconds on the clock. We said no lead is safe. We'll see if that holds true here. The first question will be asked by the Frenchman, the underdunk. He looks infield, but no follow. Bluey is there. He'll look to the side. Collat looks to keep the pressure on, but he has since been deleted. Now the follow-through from Bluey on the sidewall. Another demo coming out. The heat getting turned up. Bluey around another. And steered aside by Swaz. Resh with the 50. Velocity keeping the pressure on. More bumps coming out. The net is open, and we're tied.
Talking about sins. Providing Indiana Tech an open net and getting bodied is Collat. Bully ball. Not only on the menu, a chef special, ladies and gentlemen, but it is tit for tat. It is blow for blow, a heavyweight fight feel in this one, because again, Indiana Tech needing a single solitary goal to be able to walk away with the dub and dismiss Lesley. But by the same token, understanding the assignment, understanding the absolute monumental moment that lies before them. If you are Lesley, all you need as of this moment, a shot and a goal, or was it just all of your offense in game number 1? Swaz Handle back, looking to get possession here again. There is no 100 for him, just wants to stall, but instead gets that one swiped away. We have seen Indiana Tech in an overtime already this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Might we see them in another one? Rush up opportunity, zeros on the clock. Taking this guy there is Dre. Pop away now. Indeed, it is gonna get nudged. The carry challenged off the low. And zeros being acknowledged. It will touch terra firma, and in this moment, my friend, if Indiana Tech is able to get possession or at least stall this one out, I think you got to look in the Warriors' favor here in OT.
Well, opening opportunity here for Lesley. Steered aside by Reshiram. He does get demoed, but the response is a bump from Bluey in midfield. That will open up some space for Velocity. He's challenged by Colette. The quick follow from Dre. Flip reset in hand. He'll go underneath. He does run into the brick wall that is Bluey. And now Velocity. And this is where you hold your breath. Velocity up high. Bluey down low. Denied by Dre. The rebound is still there. This will go into the middle, but no Warrior to follow. But a whole lot of panic from Lesley. This will find its way on target, but it's right to Velo with about 80 boost and a whole lot of space. Dre will promptly remove said space. And Bluey will just go for a challenge. Swaz back the other way. Lesley looking for anything. It is promptly sent back one more time. Dre will steer this one aside. Velo around him. What does he have? Drop down for Bluey. Denied. The rebound for Resh. It's still available. Bluey off the pipe. It stays out for now, and this one will just find itself wide.
I cannot confirm anything, but it kind of feels like hearts may be up into the throats of Lesley right now as we take past a minute into this overtime stanza. Again, you don't need to stress about the clock if you are either of these teams, and that rush, actually that understanding what is on the line may afford Lesley maybe a little bit more speed, a little bit more urgency, but as my colleague said, maybe a little bit more panic there along the goal line. And D going to be able to get that touch sent back down to Resh. Resh with the send away, not going to be able to grab a 100 button. No need as this one skips sky high. Lesley looking to finish this one off, chased after. The Warriors are there, and indeed going to be able to clear that one off the back wall. Pop away now by Swaz. Swaz looking for the setup. Indeed, Lesley, maybe one more opportunity. No, big pardon. It is challenge sent high. Lesley looking to get control here yet again. Again, they've been sitting down center field, largely open, but denied by Tech with the center away, popped off the wall, courtesy of the pitch, but that one far too slow as Tech, again, continuing to put the screws to this defense that has really kept Lesley in this series. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just getting here, it was a Brazil to start off game number one, but it has been all Warriors ever since. An adjustment of mental, that one not on the opportunity, has been there for the Warriors a couple times. Velocity to stall and will be swatted over to the side. Lesley, again, so much on the line, and they are taking swing after swing, hoping one finds the jaw of the Warriors to extend the series.
I was about to say a little bit ago that it feels like this series is, well, oh, that's a beautiful attempt from Dre, but just barely not able to make the contact. It feels one bump away from this series either continuing or ending. It was, well, maybe the bump on the pinch attempt from Resh kept this series going. Several more bumps for the Warriors there in the offensive end do not lead to a goal. Lesley keeps the attack going on their end now. Is still denied by the Warrior defense. Colette, drop for Dre, still available. Resh is low boost. Swaz has nothing either, though, and this will allow Velocity space. This is where it's dangerous. Looking for the bar. Bluey the rebound. Ball game! And the Warriors win 4-1.
I am loving this, loving it. Velocity sends this one away, forcing actually a double commit on that one, trying to get this squishy, but alas, again, you just put so much pressure on that Lesley defense, and it eventually crumples the R's. These are human beings after all, but my goodness gracious, what a response in so many ways. So what we saw here, ladies and gentlemen, is a team in Indiana Tech there were two big moments in which, honestly, they may have very well crumbled. We saw it a little bit earlier on against Akron there in that game number 3, but we shift on over into game number 1. Things go sideways, does not matter. Able to just kind of wipe the palms off memory of a Goldfish go through get. Just emphatic dubs here yet again, and how good must that feel for a young team that is trying to find confidence after what happened there in those open tournaments. But I gotta say, Lesley, I mean, a tremendous team, just hard-fought victory at the end of the day. You give Indiana Tech this level of speed, this level of confidence, I'm terribly sorry, you are not going to win a series. But I will say, I thought, hey, maybe go into game 6, maybe even a game 7, again, testament to what Tech did here, looking right proper mental, and that is where champions are born, between the ears.
Absolutely. We've seen the Warriors make adjustments before. I don't think I've seen the Warriors lose game 1 7-1 and then proceed to, well, look akin to the team that we saw that won a CRL Open. They looked really confident about halfway through that series. It was it was just incredible. It's fantastic to see. It's not over. We are awaiting the results of St. Clair and Kennesaw to see whether we have to, play one more to make playoffs. We still have one more. It is St. Edwards, by the way. St. Edwards, according to NECC, is currently down 3-1 to Ole Miss. St. Edwards is also 4-1. We are now 5-1. It's the two top teams in Division 1 Group A, which feels like a fever dream considering Northwood is here. It's been a crazy season in CRL. It's been insane. St. Clair's here. Wow. I don't know. I don't know, man. We'll wait and see. Akron and Northwood, they haven't reported anything either. We've done our job. We got the win. We'll take those where we can get them. We also have one more job to do, Monkey Shines. We have an interview coming up, as customary for a win. We will take a quick break. We'll be right back for said interview. Don't go far. We'll see one of your Warriors in just a moment.
Take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home. And I
Welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Monkey Shies, and alongside me, it is the winning coach. And my goodness, what an evening it has been. It is K Frost, aka Coach K. I will say this, all right. Bub was saying, K Frost is reaching out to me. He says, give me the mic. So I'm just going to stand back for a hot minute because I think you got some stuff to say.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm very impressed with the boys. Like, the small micro adjustments we make in game, it just speaks for itself. Like, we're honestly dominating, and honestly, it just lets the gameplay show. We're just so good.
So I got to ask, I mean, it was around for the open qual tourneys, things of that sort. And of course, got to the end. There's a huge target on the boys' back. And of course, not the way that they wanted to finish things off there in the third as well. But I got to ask you, where is the team's mental from then to now? Where are we at right now between the years?
Yeah, so I want to say in the first open, we actually dominated. This is when I first came in as coach, so I had little input coming in, and then coming to the second qual, we kind of tweaked some things, and I think it showed that they were more nervous to like try new things or to really step up and be like, hey, this is something that I'm not comfortable with, or this is something I'm comfortable with. And in the third qual, we were right there at the end, and we didn't unfortunately win. I really wanted that rematch against Boise, but it is what it is. I think we're better off now coming out of that third qual, and I think what we've been trying to learn has shown, especially tonight. I think there's glimpses of greatness, and if you throw us against that Boise team again, how we look tonight, or maybe just like a little bit like another day or two of practice, I think we're dominating Boise, or like maybe 3-1ing them.
So curious, coming out of game number 1, right? Get Braziled. I mean, that's a heck of a way to get shell-shocked, things like that. But we shift on over, going to game number 3, and at that point, it really looked like there was that confidence. I know you know what I'm talking about. There's just a little twinkle in the eye with regards to playstyle when they go nuts. Yeah. How have they managed to go from what we saw CRO right in the open tourneys? How have they managed to shift on over into that after getting shellacked in game number 1? What is the mental shift that you're seeing?
Honestly, it's just more of like keeping our focus up. Like, I think we have a very easy tendency to get lost in like trolling sometimes, and like it's not a bad thing, but I think we're getting better at locking in when we need to. I think the guys especially have learned that like we just need to pay more attention and be more attentive in games, and it honestly it shows, right? Because if we troll in the beginning of the tournament, or like let's say like Zero, like any of the opens in the beginning against like the lower level teams, when we play a good team, it's gonna show. Like we just can't fully lock in. But like in tonight, for instance, like when we got 7-1'd, I think like we made 3 small adjustments. So I'm not gonna say what they are, but like it shifted in our gameplay, and in our mental. I think our mental was never bad to begin with. When losing 7-1, it was just like, okay, like warm up game, sure, like they can have it. But I mean, the mental bounce back was insane. I mean, we just dominated them the 4 games in a row.
So one thing that we always look forward to when watching this team, of course, the Velocity Bluey situation, a dynamic duo, but we got to see a lot of Reshi this evening. Has that been a concerted effort to get him a little bit more involved now?
Yeah, honestly, it's been fun watching Reshi grow within the first week, because we've had a little bit of issues kind of like finding his place and his play style within the team. And I think tonight and like recently, I think he's solidified something, and he's making great strides towards what I'm trying to work with them on, especially Reshi. I think he's doing a great job.
Nice. So I got to ask it finally. What are your guys' goals over the next few weeks, maybe a couple of months? Is there anything in particular you're eyeballing, not necessarily from a win perspective, but just in terms of growth?
Yeah, I would like to see us just work on our play style a little bit more. I want to just really hammer that down for spring. I think the goal is, with me coming in half the semester, I think it's really important for us to try to nail in what we've been trying to work on in VODs and practice and scrims. And, it's easy to get lost in, what we're doing. And I think they're doing a really good job of, keeping that goal in mind and understanding that like this is a learning curve for spring.
Good deal, good deal. Well, congrats again, Coach. Ladies and gentlemen, heck of an evening. Tech able to get the dub over Lesley 4-1. It has been an incredible evening. So I want to thank Coach K. I want to thank, of course, Skaboosh back there handling business in the producer spot. I want to thank Bub, of course, as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a heck of an evening. Thank you all so much for being a part. My name is Monkey Shines. Another great day with Indiana Tech. Hashtag Tech Yeah. Have a great rest of your evenings.